Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's PJ here. Now, today we're going to be talking about the 5 things you need to know before presenting. Now, this is important because with presentation, amateurs, what they end up doing is they'll go in front of the camera, they'll go in front of the audience, they'll go in front of the stage, and they'll present either based on what they've already thought or just purely going spontaneous. Now, the art of presenting is through a lot of prep work. And what I mean by that is that you need to know a couple of things before even creating a presentation, whether it's not a document where you're creating a script. Now, what you need to know, and the most critical thing, is find out who is your audience. Now, this is important because when you don't know who your audience is, you don't know what context to create the presentation. So, for example, if you assumed that you're speaking to high school kids and there's a lot of senior executives in this particular presentation, what will often happen is if you talk about things relevant and the context that only kids would understand, the executives won't know, and it's vice versa as well. So it's important to know your audience so you can create the context for your presentation. Now, once you know who your audience is and you're able to create the context, it's important to ensure that the specific messaging is accurate, is well defined, and ensures that the audience you're speaking to know exactly what you're talking about. Because the last thing you're going to do is be starting talking about terminologies that they have no idea to. And that really destroys what the message you're out to create in the world. An example is, if you start talking about all these financial terms to, let's just say, a marketing person, they might not get it. And if you start talking about marketing terms to a finance person, they might not get it, and it destroys that messaging. So it's important to ensure that you know who your audience is, so you can build up the good context and make sure that you're actually checking that whatever communication you're giving out in your presentation, the audience you're speaking to know exactly the terminologies for them as well. Now, the other thing that you really need to go is you got to develop the facts and the story for this particular presentation. Now, what I mean by that is when you start giving out facts and you start creating a story, what often happens in that process is that it builds up your credibility and you're more likely to be remembered for it as well. An example is, for example, there was actually research by Harvard Business School. When they did a research, they found out that people that write their goals have a much higher chance achieving it. And in that study, when they ended up researching about those audience of people that they researched on, they found that the ones that wrote their goal had ended up actually achieving their goals versus the ones that didn't. Now you can imagine that this study is actually very important. If there was a workshop on the importance of writing your goals down, and this is what you're going to do within your own presentation, is pick a couple of facts, pick a couple of data, and then build a story around it. And that way it allows them to engage, it allows you to be remembered, and it allows you to be a thought leader. And that's what you want to do within the public space, is build up your credibility, because no one's going to listen to you if they don't understand who you are and if they don't know why you should be speaking about a specific topic. Now, the couple of other elements that come with this is we all learn through different methods. Some people are visual, so sometimes it's very important to have a visual presentation. Some people are auditory, so some people, they need that verbal way of communication. And some people have different ways of learning, so you want to make sure that it all links up. And I think it's very important to make it simple, visual, and ensure people understand exactly what you're talking about. Now, the last one is building a presentation at a good space. and knowing when to pause. The reason that this is important is because for a lot of people, they go really fast and they start talking really, really fast for people to try and get it. But what happens is sometimes pauses is what makes it really, really powerful. And that's what you want to do in your presentation is know when to pause and know when to speak fast. Now, these are some of the tips and tricks for presentation. What will often happen is sometimes you'll feel as though it's only for a specific group of people, a specific group of people. What I like to share is that presentation it's a skill that's consistently built up throughout time, through practice, through preparation, and through that pre-work of ensuring that your public speaking, your presentation, your PowerPoint is at the level that you want it to be. So I urge you, regardless of how you feel about presenting presentations in general and public speaking, I urge you to develop your skill and capabilities in public speaking because it allows you to build up a lot more opportunity where you get to share your expertise, where you get to share your passion, where you get to build a lot more friends as well. So like always, if there's any questions around presenting, please make sure you comment below. Always here to support you.